There are many games out these days that are pretty much being dumbed down for the larger audience. They've been made a lot more simplistic, where they lose their challenge and also lose their original appeal. But that's not the case with our next game, as it comes back from the old school formula of extremely hard and relentless gameplay, and that game is, of course, Dark Souls. It's dark, it's tough, and it's almost got no story at all. It's Dark Souls. The spiritual successor to Demon's Souls brings more dark fantasy to the RPG genre. Demon's Souls was one of the most unique games to come over recent years, as it embraced an old school approach to gameplay that is both deep and incredibly challenging. With Dark Souls, From Software seeks to refine this gameplay even more, but have they succeeded? We find out. Like Demon's Souls, Dark Souls focuses very little on story. Basically, there were these dragons that once fell to the sages who controlled the sacred flame or something, and you must keep the flame alive by killing beasts around you. To tell you the truth, I don't fully understand what's going on, and it doesn't really matter. This game is all about gameplay. Everything about your character is customizable and able to be personalized. There aren't many decisions to make during the story, and you can go wherever you want, whenever you want. Besides from a small tutorial level in the beginning, you are not guided to go anywhere, and figuring out where you have to go and what you're most suited to tackle is a challenge in itself. It's in this style that Dark Souls wins out. It doesn't try to be anything else but itself. It's difficult, dark, and extremely rewarding to those that can get into it. Whilst it won't be everyone's favourite denim pants, it's a title that can be addictive and a deep gaming experience for anyone brave enough to try it. The visuals in Dark Souls may seem fairly bleak and unappealing, but once you take in this title, you'll find that it really helps the dark and gothic mood of the game. Dark Souls is all about the disgusting, the sinister, and the evil, and the graphics themselves are actually pretty good. You'll see many different looking levels of blue skies, deep forests, and old abandoned castles, as well as some seedy sewers and slimy caverns. The character movements are especially well done, with a range of different moves for each weapon you handle, and combat feels all the more realistic and intense with every bang of your shield that you absorb and satisfying stab with your sword. Whilst the graphics lack depth and variety, it does play to the game's gothic nature. Sound is decent enough with some average voice work but strong effect sounds, especially when it comes to the huge demons that you'll face. With a gloomy soundtrack and epic battle music, there's not much hope to find in your playthrough.
Oh, hello there. I will stay behind to gaze at the sun.
The gameplay of Dark Souls revolves around eliminating many of the bosses in the game and activating certain switches. Yet some bosses are more difficult than others, so you'll have to find the easier ones first and then level up your character and gear in order to take on the more deadlier enemies. Leveling up is done through spending souls, which you get from killing foes, and if you die you lose all your souls and must start again, or at least collect them from when you last died. And here's the twist, you will die a lot. This is where Dark Souls is relentless and awesome at the same time, as in order to succeed, you'll have to be patient, observant, and know exactly when to attack or when to block. It's one of the best combat systems for an RPG I've ever played, and it results in some extremely intense and heart-pounding battles. Some of the bosses will seem impossible to beat, but figuring out their weaknesses and eventually defeating them will make you feel like you're Lieutenant Awesome! You'll have a range of weapons which you can use with your left or right hand, magic elements, shields, and different classes for your character. Bonfires are situated throughout the game and act like checkpoints and upgrade stations. This is very similar to Demon's Souls, but with a much smoother and deeper experience. The bosses are intense and ugly and all kinds of secrets to find, and the gameplay will keep you coming back for more. It's as if this game hates you. It tries everything it can to make you die, and every time you beat it, it is all the more rewarding. Now, this is not for everyone. It's a very hard, difficult game, but if you can get into it, it will make you addicted. I found it pretty hard to turn it off. There's not much focus on story, but I see this as being a fantastic title, and I'm going to give it a 9.72 out of 10.01.